edition. The free agency fallout edition. The countdown to the most important Packers edition without Jason Wilde, who wrote the articles, but with Brian Bulaga and Homer, who are scheduled to appear. The Jesse and Old T edition. Can I say it's my favorite editions when it's that?
You can do whatever you want, Jesse.
It's not really true. I like when, we're at full strength, but these can be fun sometimes. Of Wilde and Tausch, 94.5 ESPN
Were you looking
Milwaukee.
for me to say yes, Jesse? These are the best of the best?
I don't know what I was looking for there, I suppose, because there was kind of that set you up for a lose-lose, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. The ESPN Wisconsin app, live video streaming on YouTube, as well as on the Wilde and Tausch Twitter feed and Facebook page. No Jason Wilde today or tomorrow. He is on assignment, set to return for the annual State of the Packers show this Saturday at Summerfest on ESPN Wisconsin, starting at noon. Big Saturday afternoon out at Summerfest with Gabe Neitzel and Alex Strofe. So in the interim, I am Jesse Nelson, normally the producer of this fine program. Today I slide over into the host chair here in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison, where I am joined by cousin sub of the day, Riley Yauk, producing the show. Good morning, Riley.
Good morning, Jesse.
Can we see Riley on the video stream?
Not yet.
Well, he's got the old school Packers Super Bowl champion shirt, and I believe the last time that the NFL did the logo right. It's so boring and bland now. They put some New Orleans flair in the Super Bowl logo, and it's so much better. I don't know why they ever went away from that, because that's that shirt's 40 years old. Well,
yeah,
it was the original.
Pretty close.
But why would they
30,
ever go away from that to this block blech? I don't understand. I don't know why.
Packers Steelers first Super Bowl to have the new style of logo. Mm-hmm. 45.
I feel like it was before that it got real bland.
It got more bland, but the current
for a
just
league
silver.
That's for a league that is always looking to be cutting edge and more uniform options and all this stuff. Why would they revert with that? Does that make any sense?
I think it's marketing based would be my guess, because then they can print shirts and they can put it on merchandise and things a lot easier than customizing.
That's literally on a shirt.
Yeah,
and I've seen it on a hat.
I know that's the old days of doing it. It takes more to do. Like, they can make stuff a bunch in advance.
It's easier to make stuff now than it was then. You have 3D printers. They're making stuff out of thin air basically, and you're telling me they can't do that because it's easier to do it with block? I'm sorry, that makes no sense.
I think so. I'm just trying. I like the other logos, just for the record. I'm just trying to come up with the reasons why they would do this. My other guess would be the NFL likes uniformity and making the Super Bowl have its own brand. With
why
all
are they
the
making
that go
different
into
jerseys then, and you can do throwbacks, and they're having you do all this other fun, unique stuff, and they're letting them do cleats. They're actually uniformity. They're actually going away from uniformity.
I don't know why they would do it. I think they should. I agree. It's more fun when the Super Bowls have customizable logos, and you have the Super Bowl Mardi Gras style, and you have the there was a USA themed one, I think, when there was all kinds of fun stuff. That makes more sense. I agree.
Yeah, I know, having dabbled in graphic design and attempting to learn how to make logos.
Dabbler, aren't you? What else are you dabbling in?
Graphic design, a little more than dabbling. I worked for UW Athletics as a graphic designer for a period of time in college. A couple
beyond
years.
dabbling. Yeah.
And
give us something that you did over there.
Yeah, what'd you make?
All right, so for the Wisconsin Notre Dame football.
I'm going to say this before you even get into this. You're the most interesting cat in this office, by far. All right, continue.
All right. So for the Wisconsin Notre Dame Shamrock Series game back in 2021, I was charged with making
fourth quarter.
Yeah, that was a tough day.
I was glad I was unable to watch that game, but I was charged with making some phone wallpapers for
Phone wallpaper.
the social media team to put out. Okay. So we had a couple, one with the uniform elements from their forward uniforms, which I really like those, by the way. Then I had one with Ches Malusi stepping over Soldier Field, had the play like a champion today sign like drowning in Lake Michigan, which I liked. Had one with just raising the helmet up. Did a lot with track, did a lot of branding with wrestling. Let's see, did tennis.
What
softball.
was your tennis stuff?
My tennis stuff?
Love.
Yeah. No, it was more graphics when the ITA rankings came out. I do, Wisconsin is ranked 28th in the ITA doubles
And you put that
rankings.
on a T-shirt?
No, it'd be more. I worked more in social media graphics.
Okay.
I only did a couple fan giveaway T-shirts for soccer.
I like the play like a champion sinking into the bottom of Lake Michigan. That's a great visual.
Thank you.
I hope they bring that back next year.
I'll find it and put it up at some point.
All
today.
right.
Big game at Lambeau next year. Wisconsin Notre Dame
There's a
rematch.
little conundrum that happened over the weekend that I was waiting until Jason was gone to get into because I knew Riley was going to be producing.
Oh boy.
Got some youth. All right, so we ended up going to the Morgan Wallen concert on Sunday, and it was fun. Eleanor was all excited to go. Max, not as much. We went with another couple. There's two couples, and I want to, and I'm going to protect everybody's names and or images from this because I want to understand what you guys would do. Jesse, you're an old man. Riley, you're not.
Yes.
Let's say you and what was the quill pen gal's name? Just for reference.
Yeah, Katie.
Katie.
I am offended that Riley is not considered an old man when he writes love letters with quill pens.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's
so
throwback.
I don't know
traditional.
Throwback traditional.
Not old though.
So Riley, you with your old girl, you're still dating. Okay, let's just say, and I know that probably was a little heart-wrenching for you, but let's just put that into you and 6 of your friends. You're dating. There's maybe one other couple, and then just a bunch of girlfriends all go to Morgan Wallen.
Okay, so there's only 2 guys here.
Well, let's just say there's 3 guys and 4 girls. 5. Okay. There's a group of 8 of you. Everybody's having a great time. But you're dating this young lady for about a year and a half, okay? Mm-hmm. And everybody is excited. You spend good money to go to this. You get down there. You're having a great time. And let's say you're overheated and you had way too much to drink. And you get evacuated from the evacuation. You know, they evacuated the stadium. But they evacuate you from the evacuation because you drank too much.
Oh, my.
So let's say this happens.
That is a tough deal.
What is your route? Because the rest of your crowd didn't drink too much and can still go and enjoy it. You are the girlfriend. It's your girlfriend of a year and a half. You're in love, all this stuff. She gets evacuated just because she was overheated and had too much to drink. What is your role as that boyfriend with your friends, having a great time? Do you evacuate yourself and give up and take this person home? Do you say, you're an idiot? I'm not going to miss out on this great time that I paid for? What do you do in this scenario?
That's tough. So my girlfriend has too much to drink, gets evacuated, and
she gets evacuated from the building.
Now it's up to me. I have my friends on one side.
Your friends are here, and they're all like, we're still ripping.
They're ready to go back.
I paid like $300 for this ticket.
Probably more.
But, and then I have my girlfriend who has to leave.
It's not your wife.
No.
It is your girlfriend of a year and a half.
Year and a half's a long time to be together.
I think my first attempt is if she has friends in the area, maybe call one of her friends, see if she can go stay there, if she can get picked up and stay there.
So let me interject quickly. Let's say you have been with this young lady for an extended period of time, and you're very good friends with their sister. Do you call the sister? Because this was the initial
Sounds oddly
thought.
specific.
Do you call the sister? No, this is not nothing to do with me.
Of course, yeah, hypothetical.
Do you call the sister?
I call the sister. I would call the sister.
So you really want to abandon?
That's not what I'm saying.
It sounds like you want to stay and have somebody else deal with the problem. What is Morgan Wallen's thing called? You're not the problem, or you're the problem tour?
I'm the problem.
Oh, it's I'm the problem tour.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This is a problem.
Yep.
Okay, continue.
And I think if the sister is unavailable, or if she...
Don't you wish, like, if it happened to you, would you want your girlfriend to take you home and take care of you?
See, I'd want my girlfriend to at least act like it, and then I can be like, nah, you're good. Just enjoy the concert. Like, I'll be fine. I could get myself home.
He brings up a good... I don't know if you want my opinion on this. Okay.
No, but I wanted Riley's first because I could actually see this scenario playing out for Riley.
As opposed to me,
yes,
where I'm too old for this to
You're playing
be a thing.
bingo and canasta down at the KC Hall.
Understood.
Ultimately, when it comes down to brass tacks, you got to go with them. A year and a half is serious enough commitment that if there's no other option or no other good option, I feel like you should go. Should take one for the team.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line if you'd like to weigh in on this hypothetical scenario that Tausch has presented for us. The Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. I think, number one, you cannot let the person, whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever you're with in this scenario, you can't let the person leave alone.
Yes.
That
Agree.
is unacceptable. Cannot.
Okay.
If that person is being removed from a concert where everybody's getting after it,
sure.
If they're being removed, they cannot be trusted on their own to get home
I think
safely.
we all agree with that.
So that's number one. So someone needs to be with this person escorting them. If there are no other options available, it's up to the significant other. And you just got to bite the bullet at that point and say, I got to leave the concert and I got to make sure my significant other of a year and a half gets home safely. Or if this is first date and you're like, all right, well.
No, first date, you don't have your deuces.
You got a friend, like, okay, figure it out. Different. Still make sure they're with someone responsible, but you can ditch them at that point and never call them again. Like, whatever. It's first date.
Okay.
Year and a half, you're in this. You're in it at a year and a half. So it is up to you, and it's up to what your relationship is with your significant other to know what they would want you to do in this scenario. I think by a year and a half, you know what that person is expecting of you in this situation. And I think, like, for some, it would be if we're in this together.
This is a real relationship tester.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we're in this together, then sorry I made a mistake, but I need you in this with me to make sure I get home safely, and that's going to be meaningful to me. Or on the other hand, some would value.
But you're an idiot, and you're going to ruin her or his experience by being an idiot.
It would be difficult to overcome knowing you're not only responsible for getting yourself kicked out, but you also cost your significant other money and an experience because you made mistakes. So
with their friends. Yes, it's not.
Yeah.
This was a real. If this scenario is playing out, I'm thinking there's just a lot of nuance to this.
Yes.
For sure. So if it was me, if I was the one who had consumed too much and needed to be taken home, I would not want.
Well, first off, Becca's dropping you in an Uber.
She
going
should
back
ditch
to
me. Yeah, she should ditch me.
Yes.
I would not want her to come with me. I would say, you stay and enjoy the concert. I will call a friend. I will make sure I get home. Hopefully, I mean, the ideal scenario is there's re-entry allowed. And so, like, your significant other can take you home and then come back and get back into the building.
Sure.
And it
Well.
might, especially during a rain delay, that's a specific scenario, like it happened on Sunday night, but you've got a little time built in
Okay.
to get in.
All right.
So that, I think, would be the ideal scenario. If no re-entry is allowed, then I think it does come down to the relationship. In our relationship, we would say it's perfectly acceptable to call a relative or a close friend to try and get the person home so the other doesn't have to leave.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what happened?
In this theoretical situation, how did it end?
She went back into the concert.
Okay.
And he went home.
I can't get into all of those details.
He left the building.
I did say that, but it was a interesting case study, and I do think for me it would be go and enjoy the show. You shouldn't ruin other people if you're functioning enough to get there. Then the other question is, can you put? They got the little clink. Under the stadium.
Yeah,
can you
jail.
self-enroll in the Klinkster so that you can still get there and then get a ride home after the show?
And I bet you could hear the concert from Bucky Jail.
Yeah,
too.
it wouldn't be a
you
bad
hear it.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could be rocking
so I
out.
think the right play is I don't want a burden. I appreciate you getting me out and getting me some water and trying to rehydrate and do the whole bit. And then I'm going to go self-check myself in to the Bucky Clink.
Find the nearest officer.
Was that the Andy Griffith show where the guy would walk in and he'd just check himself into the jail
Otis
cell?
the town drunk, right?
Otis the
Yeah,
town
Otis.
drunk.
You
Yes,
got to
that
Otis
is.
it.
That is true.
That's the ideal scenario in this hypothetical. Otis it.
But if your significant other doesn't do that, do you then think, what happens if something else happens? Or because this is self-imposed, it's a different deal?
Yeah, self-imposed, it's a different
I agree.
deal.
I think self-imposed is a completely different deal. I thought she handled the scenario very well.
Well, good.
So I think everybody, in a sticky, very sticky situation, I think it was handled well. But I'm Riley, if your gal, the old Quilster,
Yep.
she has no interest and says, figure it out, would that have made you more likely to end things with her rather than her breaking your heart?
It's definitely it makes you think. If you can tell there's no care whatsoever, then that would give me pause. But if
Okay.
there's sorry man, you're an idiot, you did this, I want to enjoy the concert,
Deal with
then
it.
it's like, okay,
I get it.
I totally understand that.
I do think it's very different. We'll get to some of the responses. They're rolling in on the Cardinals Talk and text line. We'll get to those coming up next. It's
Jeremy in Green Bay's got to go.
There's a few good ones here. It's very different if you're in like Chicago at, I think Beyonce was there not that long. Like if you're in a if it's not a home game for you, like Riley going to Camp Randall to Morgan Wallen would be okay. He's got friends living in the area that aren't at the concert.
He's got friends in low places, am I right?
I know he's got family.
Is that Morgan
that's not,
Wallen?
No,
That's Garth.
That's Garth. Not exactly.
so you got family that's nearby. You got friends that you know are around. If you're in Indianapolis, if you're in Chicago, if you're in somewhere else where you're not right at home, you handle this differently than if you're in Madison in your backyard. I think that plays into this
fair.
too.
That's true. I walked to the concert.
An interesting window into
Sorry.
very responsible.
What a real estate flex. Jeez.
Cool.
I walked there. I came from Cambridge, but I wanted to get some extra
I was
steps
also
in.
listening outside the stadium. I didn't have a ticket, but
Brian Bulaga, Homer, still to come on the show today. We're gonna
I saw some people carrying chairs in like a 6-pack, and he just went up and sat on a sidewalk.
Yep.
Probably not a bad idea.
No, I listened to the first 6 songs. I can get into it next segment, but I chauffeured my aunt, uncle, and their friends to and from the concert because they
should let
wanted
me know.
to
We
drink.
could have given old boy a ride home.
Riley's Uber service.
Yeah, but then I just sat for like the first 6 songs of the concert. I just sat outside.
You'd be a good Uber guy. You'd be a good Uber driver.
I thought I was pretty solid.
No, I'm saying, I think you'd be good. Put one of those pink mustaches up on the top of your car and just go to work.
Another side hustle for me.
You just said it's been a slow week.
Yeah,
4th of July fireworks would be a great time to get started as an Uber guy.
Yeah, it'd be a good week to start.
True.
Summerfest, if you want to get some action down in the Milwaukee area, you got a lot of options available for you this week. Tausch, tell us about Pella Windows.
Thank
and Doors,
you
Wisconsin.
we just talked about having some resilience, whether it's in your relationship, in life. For windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. The Pella Experience Center lets you see it, feel it, open and close and slam and compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines, and you can do it all side by side. Stop by soon, because if you order by July 31st, you get 0 interest for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
844-770-3776, the carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. How would you handle the hypothetical scenario that Tausch presented for the Morgan Wallen concert on Sunday night? Plus, we will get into reactions from the free agent frenzy for the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday and Jason Wilde's countdown of the top 20 most important Packers of 2025. Officially began at channel3000.com yesterday. We'll get into all that, plus Brian Bulaga and Homer still to come. Don't go anywhere. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day on July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Carbless, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Fifth Third Bank, Cider Heating, Plumbing and Electrical, Gruber Law Offices, Welke's Milwaukee Florist, and Jet Out. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee Milwaukee on YouTube.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Kevin Moret here for Mentality. Life's a relentless competition, and you might be losing without even knowing it. With testosterone levels plummeting 25% in just 2 decades, you're likely operating at a fraction of your potential. Your kids sense it when you're too exhausted for playtime. Your wife notices when that spark fades. Here's the harsh truth. Without addressing low T, nothing works. Diets fail, workouts fall flat, but there's hope. Mentality's FDA-approved treatment restores testosterone by an average of 30%. Don't let low T rob you of life's precious moments. Start at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is up next July 17th through the 20th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Before we get to the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line at 844-770-3776, a private message from an unnamed ESPN Wisconsin producer.
Okay.
On the private talk and text line. First game back at Camp Randall after COVID. Had to be carried out of the stadium at halftime. 2 friends left the game to take care of me.
Ooh, so that kind of tells you if that. So you think the girlfriend should have left with the young?
Well, that just means that that's 2 good friends who said we got to make sure we're taking care of our guy, making sure he gets home safely. Which again,
I wonder
is the most important.
Did he or she say what time they were taken out of the game?
After halftime.
After halftime?
After halftime.
Okay. I was going to say.
Or at halftime.
At halftime. All right. That was a close game. That's fair.
Yeah. That was the Penn State game, so they didn't even make the jump around.
I was there too. That sucked.
Well, there's
the
some
jump around
games
was
that
awesome,
you're actually kind of pulling for that, because then you have an excuse to leave.
Well, if it's
a Brewer game, it's 9-0.
Yeah, then you have a reason. Yeah. Right. That makes sense. But close game, you definitely don't want. And the Penn State game was close.
All right.
So some of the texts rolling in on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line at 844-770-3776. Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason will be back next week, but also for the State of the Packers at Summerfest on Saturday afternoon with Alex Strofe and Gabe Neitzel. Jeremy in Green Bay responding to the hypothetical of Tausch's scenario at the Morgan Wallen concert on Sunday night, where a couple that had been dating for, I want to summarize this correctly, dating for a year and a half.
I think in that ballpark, yeah.
One of them was, during the thunderstorm evacuation, one of them was removed from the premises.
Evacuated from the evacuation.
For consuming a little too much. Jeremy in Green Bay, I'm going with her no matter what, ... but she is repaying for the ticket plus interest. So he wants his money back if we're both leaving, and you're paying me that and a little extra back.
Okay. I think everybody's got different ways they'd handle this, so I'm not, there's no judgment on my end. I thought it was a very unique circumstance that I thought would play well on air, and I think it has.
Another one here from Dave in Deerfield. You have to leave and take care of the significant other, but then you can use that to your advantage down the road.
Sounds manipulative.
I get it.
Bit. I get it.
I've heard I think it was in the show Suits was when I first heard this saying.
Is that on Andy after Andy Griffith?
It is not. Suits is on Netflix. It had a resurgence like a couple of years ago or last year. It was very popular for
kind of irritated. I thought Happy Gilmore 2 was out on the 4th of July weekend.
No, July 25th.
25th?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shooter.
You can never have too many people owe you one, is the saying that I think came up in the show Suits.
Okay.
And I've thought about that one over time. Like,
all right.
It's nice to do people favors or, take the high road on something.
As long as they then do favors for you later.
Yeah, then you owe me one. Then you can say, like, hey, let's I want to go golfing today with Tyler.
Hey, I'm going to go down to Bradshaw. I'm going to get at it, and I want you taking me from Rockford back home.
I want you to stay home and mow the lawn. I don't want you to go to Bradshaw. Oh, really? Remember when you had to go home after the Morgan Wallen concert? Huh. I'm going to Bradshaw.
You think Becca would have liked the Bradshaw show?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it was her cup of tea, but I enjoyed it a lot. And so did my parents. It was a good time. And so did everyone else that was in the arena at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Sunday night. 844-770-3776. Keep your responses coming. We are going to step aside coming up now because Brian Bulaga is scheduled to appear coming up next. We will unveil when Bulaga joins what the 20th ranked Packer is on Jason Wilde's list as he begins the countdown at channel3000.com of the top.
Sounds a little clickbaity to me.
Isn't that what you like? You like clickbait stuff.
I like interesting things.
And
this was interesting.
Jason has opinions. He has rankings. These are all the things we want from Jason that we never get from
but not
him.
On air. That's fair.
This is Jason at his best.
All right, I won't disagree.
The top 20 Packers of the 2025 season. The countdown has begun at channel3000.com. We'll review it with Brian Bulaga coming up next. But Tausch, since Jason isn't here, you get to tell us about Steinhoffels.
Get your best night's sleep on a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. And during the 4th of July mattress sale, you save $500 on the Tempur Breeze. That sounds cool. Plus, you get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. The Tempur Breeze uses exclusive cooling technology. That sounds fun. And it's hot, keeping you up to 10 degrees cooler night after night. Just think how much better you're going to sleep and how much more recovery you're going to have when you're sleeping. It's 10 degrees cooler. And Queen Breeze mattresses, they start at just $86 per month when you use Steinhoffels 60-month financing. Shop Steinhoffels in-store or online.
Brian Bulaga scheduled to appear next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Bulaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up, and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
You know, I couldn't stop talking about it to my family and friends. My knees are my trouble spot. But for me to tell them now that I'm doing so much better, they were amazed, and I've been amazed.
QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies. Yes, it is amazing how these non-surgical treatments deliver joint pain relief for patients like Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor.
Each week, I just started noticing that I could sleep and not have pain. I could play pickleball. I could do a CrossFit exercise routine.
QC Kinetics revitalizes your joints so you can move again without the pain pills or invasive surgery.
You know, I'm 60 years old and I want to stay competitive as long as I can. And QC has allowed me to do that. They did me right and really made a difference in my life.
Book your free consultation with QC Kinetics today and experience the difference for yourself.
I like to go, move, move, move.
QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Attend the Bud Pavilion's free concert series, Wednesday Night Live. Gates open at 6 with music from Hot Rod, Huey and the B-Sides starting at 7. Epic bands, unforgettable nights. It's Wednesday Night Live at the Bud Pavilion at State Fair Park this Wednesday with Hot Rod, Huey and the B-Sides.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road or visit PellaWI.com today.
Are you going to do something today?
Yes, I am.
And what exactly might that be?
My plan is to sit here and enjoy our amazing new patio set from Steinhoffel's.
Steinhoffel's 4th of July sale is going on now. Take 10% off store-wide, plus an extra $100 off every $999 you spend. But don't wait too long because this sale ends soon.
Now, would you be a sweetheart and get me another lemonade? I have to stay hydrated.
Steinhoffel's 4th of July sale, going on now.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Brad Nortman here. It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July Sale Spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. And with free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, we make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess. Just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch is brought to you by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and vodka and Surfside lemonade and vodka. It's light, refreshing, and has 0 bubbles. It's perfect for a day on the golf course or a day at American Family Field. Cheers to Surfside.
Although there is no Jason Wilde today, there is a Brian Bulaga appearance on Wilde and Tausch. And I've got a bone to pick with Brian Bulaga before we get into
Brian
Packers.
do?
So we're gonna unveil Jason's top 20 Packers countdown of the most important Packers. He's unveiled the first 2 names. We're gonna get to those coming up. But first,
you know what I'm interested too is to see, because Jason always blames me for this Bulaga segment going to 10:20.
Yeah.
I'll make a wager we're going to be closer to the clock today than when Jason's here.
I would not bet on that.
All right, we'll find out.
We are. Now you have a vested interest. Good morning, Brian Bulaga, Iowa. How are you?
I'm great, and I have a really good idea about this bone you got to pick, and I have a feeling everyone's going to agree with me. Maybe not Tausch, but everyone else nationally, maybe even locally in the state of Wisconsin may even agree with me on this, because they see the result of what's going on at particular said school, and they're not happy with it. So, yeah, I think they're going to agree with me, too. So, continue.
Brian Bulaga, noted Iowa Hawkeye alum, texts me and Jason, noticeably Tausch not on the group
and
text
I appreciate that.
on Friday night.
I did that on purpose. I did that on
appreciate that,
purpose. Yeah.
So it's like 7 o'clock Friday night. I'm out having a few Coors Light. This is about the time I was asking them to turn the Brewers game on at the establishment we were at. We talked about that yesterday. And I get a text from Bulaga in a group text with him and Jason and I. I'm like, what is this? And it's one of our ESPN Madison Instagram posts from Squatfest at Camp Randall Stadium, where you hosted the show last Friday. We had a bunch of great Badgers guests join us. Riley was there as part of our social media team. He may have even been the one who put this post up on Instagram of Luke Fickell walking around the weight room as a bunch of the players are, in the spirit of Squatfest. They're punching bags on the ground, and it's all their great stuff, like good stuff going on. And Bulaga texts us and says, "This is embarrassing. Cringe fest." You were just talking mad trash about Squatfest, which is one of the more celebrated moments of the offseason, the most celebrated moment of the offseason for Wisconsin football fans outside of like 5-star recruits committing to the university. What's your deal? Why are you so anti-Squatfest? It's fun.
Celebrated moments of the off-season program. Explain a celebrated moment of the off-season program?
Yes, you're getting.
Like, explain that to me. Like, please. Like I get. Okay, let me explain. I get Tausch. Tausch is a big part of the program. Tausch goes to the program. He's involved very heavily in said program. Tausch goes to a program and watches guys train, and he's heavily involved. You being excited about Squatfest and telling me Squatfest is an enormous part and a very exciting part of the off-season program makes absolutely no sense to me. And then seeing guys punching a punching bag on the ground during Squatfest. It's Squatfest, right? Like they're under a rack.
Is the name of the event. Yeah.
Yes, and they're squatting weight, right? Like I'm assuming they're trying to like PRs, and I would imagine they're team weights, right? Like they're trying to
you're working out through the offseason. It's the last workout before the guys go home for the 4th of July and kind of their summer break, and then come back for camp in late July.
Yes,
right.
So what does punching a bag on the ground have to do with squatting? That's my first question. Tausch, do you know what punching a bag on the ground has to do with squatting? Can you answer me that?
I think it's it's not just, you're not going to sit in there for 2 hours and squat, Blue. I mean, you're not going to load the rack.
I know. Believe me.
You're not going to squat for 2 hours. There's other exercises. There's core, all the other stuff that you do. And Blue, so here's what I would tell you. And you and Jesse can have this argument. And first thing is, I love the fact that you're following Wisconsin football on your Instagram. I love that
Madison.
you're.
Well, it's Madison. I mean, it's Madison.
Yeah, he's a company man.
Okay, well, and you know what? We appreciate that. But the other thing, and this is where you, as when you're in the off season, and you know this. There's spring ball. There's the spring game, which is another highlight of it. I think what Squatfest is, and what Luke Fickell has done by bringing it, and Brady Collins, it's about putting your guys in some adverse situations and having the team bond around that. Oh, I don't know if I can move 650 pounds today. Let's get our group and rally, and let's build that camaraderie that we have. That's what Squatfest was. And as far as all of the celebrations and everything else, the punching bags, I don't know, Brian. I mean, it's something, you're working your hands and doing all that. That's what Squatfest is, and I think it gives them a break. They kind of have this is the spot, then they take the fourth off, and then it's the second phase, and then ball starts. So they're trying to make this more fun, maybe a bigger environment where guys have to fight through some adversity. That's what Squatfest is. I think it's fun for the players, fun with hard work. It's a good combination. That's what.
Can I say that I have absolutely no problem with a team competition within the offseason. May I first by saying that. When I was at the University of Iowa with Coach Ferentz and Coach Doe as a strength coach, we also had team competition throughout the entire offseason. We were split into teams, and throughout the entire offseason, there was a competition. What it was called, no idea. Don't remember. Don't care what it was called, actually.
Yeah. And you got to eat corn after you're done.
Maybe. My question would be
Hawkeyes.
my question would be this. The point of having the social media and the other people in there and the gawking around it, I guess, is my question. What is the point of that?
Building excitement and anticipation and getting a chance to be for fans. Fans like to have access to the team, and if you get a chance to see, this is a big. They've got strobe lights. The guys are wearing the quarterback had like a toga on as he was doing his the other day. They're got the paint on their faces. Like, it's a cool, unique situation to have some great. Like, Tausch is hosting the show on Friday morning, and there's red and white strobe lights going off while we're doing the show. It's a one-of-a-kind atmospheric experience. It's exciting. It's fun during a time where the Brewers are playing, but there's not a lot else going on in the world of sports this time of year. Like, this is a fun thing to capture and be part of and build anticipation and excitement for the coming football season. Badgers fans love this.
Do they? And this is not, and I know Tausch is going to get mad at me, and I don't want Tausch to get mad at me.
No, you don't.
Like, this isn't. No, I don't want Tausch to be mad at me. Like, this is not, and this is not trying to stir a pot. And because I'm not sitting here and saying that my program's a national champ, they're not. But does getting excited about potentially struggling, when they're struggling, is that what we should be? Promoting that.
Well,
that's my question.
What do you want them to do? Not promote the team at all and be like, well,
it's not about not promoting the team. It's not about not promoting the team. That's not what I'm saying. The promoting the team is not the thing, but Squatfest in general and strobe lights. You're excited about strobe lights and face paint. That was what you told me through the text change, that you were excited about strobe lights and face paint.
Just like you get excited about 13 points a game.
But they're winning.
Sometimes.
More than you did last year.
Fair. Last year was a bad year. Okay. Everybody knows last year was a bad year.
But if you're gonna knock points and then wins and losses, that's what the end of the day. It's the end of the day result, right? It's wins and losses.
Yeah, last year was an anomaly. Iowa scored more points than usual. Wisconsin didn't reach a bowl game. We'll go back to where we should be this year. I'm confident in that. You'll be back to 14 points a game. We'll be back to reaching bowl games and winning games and beating some quality teams in the Big Ten, and everyone will be back to where they need to be. I'm confident in that this year after seeing what the team did at Squatfest last week.
Oh my gosh! All right. Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. You guys had your fun little banter.
You got
I'll
Tausch
say
mad.
this
You
to
got
put
him mad, Blue.
No, I'm not mad at all. To put a bow on this, Jesse loves the face paint and the strobe lights. What I love about it is the work, what they're doing, the gains that they're making, and the adversity that you get put in, and in an off season where you're always trying to replicate as much football activity as you can, this does more than a normal lift. That's why I'm all right with it. I think it's fun. The players are having some fun with it. But Blue is right. it's going to come down to playing on the field, and all this other stuff is just window dressing, and Wisconsin needs to be better than what they were last year, and everybody is well aware of that. You know it isn't? American Family Insurance. They are the best, and they are a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch for almost 100 years. They've been committed to making life better with the right home and auto protection, all so you're free to enjoy your dreams. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly with American Family Insurance. Get a quote or find an agent at amfam.com. When we come back, we're going to talk Packers. I want to hear Blue's thoughts on Jason's 20th pick, but I want to get into, again, we talk O-line on this show when Brian Bulaga is on. I am very interested to hear what he's thinking as far as what he would do, and we've had this discussion, but it's getting closer. The 4th of July, once that weekend is over, the switch flips on for football players. It starts being about football. We'll get all of those thoughts with Brian Bulaga next on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The team you'll always remember.
There will be no undefeated champion on Wisconsin.
With a reunion you'll never forget.
And I went to shake hands, and they just dabbed me, hit me. And I remember we turned around and I looked at him as a game over.
Relive Made 'em Believe starting July 8th on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Brought to you by M3 Insurance Company, Potosi Varsity Ale, and Potosi Hard Seltzers. Made 'em Believe. Available starting July 8th.
The UW Credit Union member Mark Tauscher here. People ask me, old T, why did you join UW Credit Union? Well, is it to keep your banking local? Is it the member first service? Great perks like early payday? Absolutely. But honestly, between us, it's Bucky. I can't say no to that face. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes us do crazy things, but this just makes sense. Become a UW Credit Union member and get your Bucky card like me. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
It's racing season. That means Road America in Elkhart Lake is the place to be. ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust and IndyCar driver Graham Rahal chat about what makes Road America special for drivers and fans.
What makes Road America so unique and different than anywhere else that you go?
I think it's the length of the straightaways. In an IndyCar, there's 3 places on that racetrack that, in essence, you hit maximum velocity. There's no other track that we go to year-round where that's the case. And I think that's what the drivers all love about it. From a fan's perspective, you love it because it's easy to get around. You can see a lot of different places. You can sit up on the hill watching the last corner, eat a brat, get some sweet corn, and see that side of it. But then, of course, you can also, go back by the Canada corner. So many different aspects, different areas to watch, to cheer on your favorite driver. I think that's what's so cool and unique about this place as well.
Be part of race day this summer at Road America. Visit roadamerica.com.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Rutherford County, our ground is second to none. You might not know I'm here in this big city we're in, but when I go back home, I've got some famous friends. Yeah, I do.
Continuing with Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. No Wilde today, Jesse and Tausch. But,
hey, Blue, do you follow Dove Kleiman on social media? I think he's like a fake. I don't know if he's fake. We can't tell if he's fake.
Someone bought his account.
I know.
It's
I
not
do
Dove
not
anymore.
like the new.
yeah, it's not
Dove.
the same as it used to be.
It's all clickbait.
I'm
It's terrible.
debating erasing it. I thought Dove used to bring some interesting stuff to the table, and now I just am doing like none of it. It all is just kind of.
No, I don't follow him.
That's
I
smart.
do not follow him.
Don't.
No.
Okay.
No.
Good deal.
Was there a tweet you saw that?
Yeah, I'm just sure he
brought that
sends
up?
so many tweets. There was something that
The Joe Burrow thing, that's one you sent over yesterday where he was getting heckled by fans. Is that what you were thinking?
I don't know if players and their reps pay him to like promote their stuff. That's the vibe I get. Derrick Henry jumping over trucks, like okay. We're good. My point is, I used to think his account was really good. Now I don't.
You're out on Dove. Dove used to be your guy. Now you're out on new
I'm
Dove.
thinking about unfollowing him.
All
Yes.
right.
All right.
Thank you for that declaration.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Jason Wilde has provided at channel3000.com his beginning of the countdown of the top 20 most important Packers of the 2025 season. Checking in at number 20.
Speaking of clickbait,
Jason actually did spoil this yesterday when he shared it with us. Luke Musgrave, tight end Luke Musgrave, in at number 20. And today, posted at channel3000.com, in at number 19, rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden. Luke Musgrave, number 20. Matthew Golden, number 19. The countdown will continue as we continue to count down to training camp next week. Brian Bulaga, we ask you, Luke Musgrave and Matthew Golden, what are your expectations for them, respectively, heading into this 2025 season?
Yeah, I mean, starting with Musgrave, like I think since the tight end position, I mean, we all know Tucker Kraft's obviously the number one. A lot of things are going to run through him. Through this offense, I think there's going to be more of a shift offensively through the air to him. I think that's something probably that's going to be prioritized. But with that, you got to have a plan. And, just in the NFL, things happen, right? Like you just have to have backup plans and things happen in the NFL. And I hate to bring up anything of that nature, but as Campy always would say, Tausch knows this too,
shoelace.
Shoestring comes untied,
like
shoelace comes untied, or a trim strap. Something happens throughout a game, and you got to go in the game. And the thing is, Musgrave's going to play a lot anyway. A lot of two tight end sets. He's going to be in the game regardless, so he's going to see a lot of snaps. But he's going to have to step up his game, right? He's going to have to step up his game to see more game time if he's, if LaFleur's going to trust these two tight end sets.
Why do you think Musgrave's going to take a lot of snaps? Because all we've been hearing about is all these wideouts in Golden, and we know you only play 11. Why do you think there's going to be? Because Kraft ain't coming off the field. He's going to be a 3-down. No. He'll be, if he's healthy, 85-90% of the reps guy. Why do you think Musgrave will play a lot?
Well, I think LaFleur is going to want to do a lot of two tight end sets. I think he's going to be a big 21 personnel guy. I think that's something they're going to want to. I think he's going to want to do a lot of that based on a lot of the talk earlier in the offseason. I don't mean like OTAs. I mean, prior to that, there was a lot of chatter about being a 21 personnel team, right? A lot of what the Patriots used to do and working the offense through the tight ends and how the run game developed last year. And it was kind of a surprise to a lot of people. And if you're able to do that, have a good run game, and you have two good tight ends that can work the middle of the field and work seams, and the play action can really evolve from that. So that's one way I look at it, why he may be able to get a lot of snaps if he picked.
If he does that, do you think he then has to put Jordan Love under center a lot more? Because I don't think you want to be doing a ton of that personnel groupings and doing a bunch of gun. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, 100%. You got to be under center in 21. Especially if you're going to do a lot of play action and things like that. Which, then again, going back to last year, how they were in gun a lot. Jacobs likes gun a lot. That's going to be another little tweak, right, to what we saw a lot last year, which is going back to what LaFleur likes to do initially with his scheme, is under center, play action, stretch, things like that. So that may be a little revert back to what the offense initially was when LaFleur first got here, which I think is fantastic, right? Like, I think that's really good. And I'm not saying he can't go in the gun, because Jacobs is really good out of the gun, but it would be good to see that. But I think there's going to be a place for Musgraves. I think he's going to have to earn time, right? But, if we're going to be in 21 personnel, he's going to be the guy that's going to be there. Now, it all depends on him, how much of that personnel we do run, right? Like, I think that's what this comes down to, because if you don't have another tight end that you can trust in 21 personnel, you're not going to run it much. Like, that's just the nature of it, right? You're just not going to go out there in 21 when you don't have another tight end in line that you can trust to run it. And that's the way it is.
I wonder, can he, because his rookie season, everybody, I remember Jason taking snapshots of his quads and running. Oh, he's such a freak athlete. And then you watched him in a game, and it didn't translate to me. So I think he's got great speed. They measure speed, and he was the fastest guy clocked at practice. And so he has all that stuff. But if you're going to do that 2 tight sets, you got to be able to block. And I don't know. Maybe he's gotten a lot better. But can you get by with, Tucker we know can block. Musgrave, I think we want to think he can. Can you get by doing that if you have one guy? Both guys need to be able to block the run game, and I don't think there's any question both can get out and run the routes that you're going to be looking for. But if you're going to do that, you better have both guys be able to block.
100%. Well, I think that's where Musgrave struggles. I think that's kind of where he, kind of at this point now, he's had his ups and downs with injuries, and that's kind of been his unfortunate kind of stalling point throughout his time in Green Bay, is like he's shown some promise and then something happens. He shows, and like that's kind of been his issue. But if you're going to look at kind of where there may be some limitation, it's in the run game, right? And Kraft is so good in the run game. He's a really willing and able and good blocker that that's for sure going to be a positive for him. And Musgrave is, I don't know if he's there as a blocker or quite as good. And if you're going to run that, that personnel grouping, you got to have 2 able blockers, because you can't just run one way. You can't just run to one tight end, because that becomes very predictable, right? Like if you just run to Kraft, that becomes very easy for defenses to key in on, and it won't work. So that's what I'm saying. How much they are in that personnel group comes down to how Musgraves performs and how he goes through training camp and the preseason work and how he, looks. Does he have all the skill set? Yes, he does. He has all the skill set to put it together. It's just, how does it work out for him? And that's really what this comes down to.
Joined by Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. Jason Wilde's list of the top 20 most important Packers for the 2025 season unveiled at channel3000.com with number 20, Luke Musgrave, and number 19, rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden. I think it was Mina Kimes called Matthew Golden the X factor for the Green Bay Packers heading into this 2025 season. I mean, that would work too. Their whole thing was X factors for every team when they did it, but the Golden Boy will catch on, yes. Expected to be potentially a new fan favorite for fans to enjoy when he takes the field. Obviously, the draft and the pomp and circumstance that went into that was pretty magical on that Thursday night in Green Bay. What are your expectations, Blue, for Matthew Golden in the Packers offense this year? Will he be an impact wide receiver right away, or will it take a year or two for him to become the dependable potential number 1 wide receiver?
I think it's going to take a little bit of time for him to be the number one, right? Like, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. I think to expect him to come out right out of the gates and be the true number one, I think we need to kind of like let him adapt and kind of grow into this offense and figure out, his role and his comfort level in it, right? I mean, I think we all saw OTAs wasn't too taxing and too strenuous, and it wasn't really what it used to be, where guys would really kind of get thrown to the fire early in OTAs, and they would be stressed and they would have to learn the playbook, and it would be almost full speed against starting defenses, and guys would have to learn under fire, and it would be, a lot of reps and a lot of different looks against high quality, starters. And that's just not the case in OTAs anymore. So he's going to have to start learning all this against our starting defense. And then obviously once, joint practices come in training camp. So he's going to have, to start learning and figuring out, who he is as an NFL player once training camp starts. And for rookies, some catch on faster, some it takes a little bit of time. So for him, we don't know how long that's going to take, but there's other guys in that room that we can depend on at this point in time to kind of carry that burden while he figures that out, right? I mean, there are veteran guys in that room that have a point to prove this year as well, which I think is a big plus for the Green Bay Packers going into this season. But for Golden, listen, I think he's going to be a good football player. I think he can be, sky's the limit for him. I think by, you look, at least for me, I'm hoping by mid-season, he's going to be a real weapon, because I think LaFleur's going to figure out what is really good for him in terms of packages and plays and routes and like everything. He's going to figure out what is really good for him right now as a rookie. I'm not saying for the rest of his career, but as a rookie, what he's comfortable with, what he's good at, and what he knows really well by probably middle of the season. And then you can cut him loose and let him go and play. And he's comfortable as a player doing all that. He learns coverages. He's able to adjust to coverages on the fly. I think people think it's just you go out there, you run routes, and you get the ball thrown to you. I mean, these receivers are adjusting to coverages on the fly. They're sitting down in zones and in coverages, and they're adjusting to coverages as, the play as the ball snaps. So there's a lot of things these guys are doing and adjusting to on the fly that they're learning on the job, so to speak. So we got to give them a little bit of time. But he's going to play a major role in this season. He's going to play a major role. There's going to be a lot asked of him. And I expect him to, play well as the season comes, you look to November, December. I expect him to start to catch on and play really good ball. I'm certainly not going to be panicking by, October if he isn't, blowing up the scene. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, what? No, I'm not worried about that at that point. He's got to figure himself out as an NFL pro, right? Like you got to give him time and let him adjust, and he'll be fine. But I think he's going to be a good football player and all that. And I want to go back. It was actually 12 personnel. I'm sorry, I said 21. It's 12 personnel for the tight ends. I just want to make
somebody corrected you. Wilde would have corrected. Well, Wilde doesn't know. So, Blue, who's going to, if you had a bet right now, take Tucker Kraft out of the equation, who's going to lead this team in receptions?
Ooh. Take Kraft out. I'm going to say I'll say Reed. I like Reed.
Why not Dobbs?
Yeah, I like Dobbs.
He picked Reed. He thinks Reed's going to do it.
I understand, but I think Romeo Dobbs has been kind of the dependable go-to guy, it feels like, in clutch situations the last couple of years. It's curious that you would say Jaden Reed more than Dobbs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you could pick, you can go down the line and like Tosh was kind of saying, you can pick one of the 3 or 4 guys. You know what I mean?
Why
you
not
can pick these guys. Yeah, I mean, I just
why not Watson?
In Watson. If Watson leads the team in receptions when he comes back late in the season, we got some issues.
I think Watson, you start just listening and reading the tea leaves here. I don't think Watson's going to miss as much time. I said that Jason was like, he's not going to be back till December. I'm like, you don't know that. What, you all of a sudden,
No, you don't
did
know
I
that.
miss something? Did he get a doctorate degree and start studying knees? Like, the odds would say yes, but I think it's going to be a question mark if he's going to get pupped or not. That's what I think is going to happen. I think eventually they will pup him and he'll miss 6 weeks, but I will be I would bet he's playing before Halloween.
Before Halloween
Yep.
is what you're going to say. You're going to put your flag in that camp.
He's running, he's cutting, and yes, it's different. I get all of that, but he is highly motivated, and I think the Packers, if he proves that he can get out there and do it, he is going to push and push. This isn't going to be one of those, I'm going to wait till I'm 6,000% healthy. I think he's going to push to get out there because he knows it's a gamble, no question, but just reading how things are, reading what LaFleur's saying, watching him put his videos up, I know it's different, but I will be surprised. You remember when everybody thought Rashawn Gary was going to be out for half the season, and he started practicing at training camp? I don't think that's going to happen, but I think he will be playing before Halloween. It's my prediction.
I mean, like what you're saying is, everything that I've seen too, like he looks good.
He's
at
a freak
this point in
athlete,
time.
man.
Yeah, and like you said, like it is different. As you know, you've torn ACLs, I've torn ACLs. I understand it's different doing rehab work and things like that, and
it's different being a lineman compared to being a wideout where there's more explosivity and all that. I get all that.
Yeah, but he looks good. I will say that he looks good, and all the reports are that he looks really good, and how he's running and cutting, like it's impressive stuff. And he is a freak athlete. So no, it would not surprise me either. And for his sake, I hope he is able to get back out, and he is able to prove that he's good, and he's able to play, and he's able to put up numbers, and he's able to, if at the minimum, get an extension or something that and get some money that he can then get another year to prove what he is as a wideout and then get paid. You're right. I'm hoping that for him because I think he's a good player. So that's what I hope.
Yeah, even Blue, if he gets and they work him in slowly because of that world-class speed that he's got and size, you just do some things early where you just do, he's kind of a one-trick pony where you just run him down and you run fly routes because for as much as Jesse has poo-pooed him, and you have poo-pooed him, he makes this offense different. He makes people afraid of that speed. And you watch the end of last season, there was a collapsing down. There wasn't the threat of over the top. That's why you grab Golden, because you have to have young talent coming in, and you don't know what you're getting, and you can't trust that Watson will be out there yet. But, man, if you can start mixing that puzzle together, going to be fun. I do think that I'm hoping that is the case for Christian too. Blue, before we let you go, what do you make? It's going to be the 4th of July. Was it for you? Was it always, all right, man, we left minicamp OTAs, going to celebrate, relax, and then once you're done with your family and you do all the 4th of July stuff, does the flip switch? Because it always did for me, like, I better make sure I got my gassers so I can get that pass before we get going. And then football is just on your brain probably a lot more than it should be right after that 4th of July.
Yeah, essentially once the 4th passes, they want you to take, they give you the month of July off to decompress from football, but there's no way to avoid once the 4th goes by. That's all you can really think about, right? You're just training and thinking about camp, right? Like it's just like the inevitable countdown of when am I leaving to go to camp? And that's all you think about. They can let you out as early as they want in June, and no matter what, once the 4th passes, that's really all you're consumed about is you're thinking about that. So hope these guys enjoy these next few days, because at least that's the way I was always thinking is, have a couple cold ones, Tausch Surfside or Coors. I'm going to drink some Surfside.
There you go.
Maybe that's what these guys are doing. And once that turns around, it's time to think ball, and that kind of turns to the question with the Green Bay Packers and Elton Jenkins. Like, we got to start thinking about what's going on here.
Him
right?
and Zach Tom both,
and Tom. Like, we got to start thinking about, like, are we getting this thing done? right? Like, because like that's to me, because we passed the 4th, and when do they report the 23rd? And they're on the field probably the 24th. Would be my guess.
The 23rd is the first day of camp.
Yeah, 22nd report, 23rd practice.
Yeah, I mean the 23rd is going to come and be here before you even know it.
Yeah,
like, it'll be here before you know it. So like that makes me a little nervous, right? Like it makes me a little nervous that like you don't hear anything, nothing's happened, there's no chatter.
Which one gets resolved first?
Oh.
Got to be Elton.
It makes me think that Elton has to get done first, right? Like because that one seems so easy. Like it's just so easy. Like you know what I mean? Like the Zach Tom one. Obviously, it's going to be an extension.
That's going to be complicated.
It's an extension. There's going to be it's going to be somewhere in the $80 to $90 million range of an extension. The guarantee is going to be the fun part in that. How are they going to do that? That's going to be the interesting part of that because Green Bay does not want to guarantee money. But if you look at the right tackle contracts, like
he's going to
Lane
get
and all these
25.
guys,
You think he's 25 a year is about where he's going to settle? Because Sewell, I think, is 27.5 or 28. Lane Johnson's in that upper 20s.
Yeah, he's going to be in that. He's going to be in that 21.5 to 24 would be my guess.
Okay. Yeah. I am going to be fascinated to see if he holds out or holds in.
Yeah.
He's not going to hold out.
Yeah.
If he doesn't practice,
he won't hold out. Yeah.
If he doesn't practice, what is Green Bay going to do? It's going to be interesting.
Because you haven't heard a peep from him.
What's that?
Yeah, you haven't heard a peep. You haven't heard a peep from Zach Tom.
He has said last year he didn't play as well, and that's where that whole Adam Stenavich competition thing. I really think they were playing mind jujitsu and saying, well, if you don't get in here, you're not going to be the guy. Well, then that got poo-pooed with Goody and everybody else, and they're obviously working through contract stuff. They're at least trying to get that ball rolling. It still doesn't make any sense. That's the only thing that made sense. And we'll see because he will report, but I don't know if he's going to touch the field because he's only going to be making $3.5 or $4 million when he should be making, in his mind, $25-26 million. So,
yeah,
we shall see.
Yep, and look at it this way too. I know you guys are on a clock. He played last year. I'm going to say he played last year with that pack. People can say, "Oh, it was fixed." That thing was injured probably more than half the year.
Yeah, the strength wasn't coming back until you get an off season with it either.
Yeah. So like he played through a major injury pretty much the entire year. So like he gave them a lot last year. Like it's not like
and then people are poo-pooing him because he gave some stuff up and then we're gonna have that just tells you take care of yourself. And that's why when and if he does hold out, I don't want to hear a ton of fans saying, oh, he's got a contract. Nope. He's got this. No. Just remember how this played out. And I know that we're all there's Packer fans, and you want the organization to win. I get it. But just remember, and then remember, if Dame Lillard was in the NFL, they'd have said, deuces, B, thank you for your service. We ain't giving you jack. And by the way, go rehab somewhere else. That's what happens in the NFL.
Yes, that is correct.
Zach Tom, get your money. Elton Jenkins, get your money.
Preach.
Brian Bulaga, thank you for the time. Even though you disparaged Squatfest, we still enjoy your insights on the Green Bay Packers.
And see, then you just go right back. You go full
you're
circle.
The one who started it.
Tausch put a bow on it, and then you go right back.
That's why we're never on the clock because Jesse sees a bow and then he unties it and tries to retie.
That is exactly why that happens. Blue, enjoy the 4th of July. Hope you and the family have a great time this weekend, and we will catch up next week. Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Brian Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch and on ESPN Wisconsin. He'll be enjoying a few beverages over the 4th of July weekend. Tausch, I have a feeling you and I will both be cracking open some Coors Lights.
We will, and whether you're tailgating pregame, going to go fishing, going to go watch some fireworks, enjoy your experience and have a cold Coors Light. Coors Light is brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filter, and it's cold package, so it is made to chill. Make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I'm pretty good. On the show sheet, over-under, start of hour 2 set for 10:16. Look what time we got right now. Bang. 10
Well
o'clock
done.
hour starts in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Fiserv Forum, October 5th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Wilde and Tausch kicks off at 10:18. We've done worse.
Yeah, we have. And I'm just looking up on the video screen here with Jason Wilde's 20 most important Packers. And I got a hard time. I understand that the league is built on skill guys and quarterbacks. I understand all that. But there's 22 starters on offense and defense. Something tells me those starters are going to be more important than Musgrave.
So we don't know who numbers 18 through 1 are. I have to imagine Jordan Love will be one of them.
I am going to guess that Elton Jenkins needs to be in the top 5.
Okay. Will he be the highest ranked offensive lineman?
Because he's moving spots, the uncertainty. I think he's such a linchpin to what Green Bay is trying to do. And without him, they like Monk. They think that he maybe can play, but they have no idea. And if they're going to try and do this in this power running game, and if they're going to go more 12 personnel, all right, better have a center that knows what they're doing. And that'll be Elton Jenkins.
Jason Wilde's list at channel3000.com. The first 2 have been unveiled. The top 20 most important Packers of 2025. Number 20, Luke Musgrave, the tight end. Number 19, Matthew Golden, the wide receiver. One of the big takeaways from Brian Bulaga's appearance before we play trivia, presented by Vortex Golf, coming up next. The conversation about the offensive linemen and Zach Tom and Elton Jenkins and getting this thing done before the start of camp. And really, when 4th of July is almost like the 7th inning stretch of the off season where, okay, it's crunch time. If this is a tie game, if this is like still going on, we don't see the end in sight. This is a concerning time to be in 3 weeks before training camp.
So typically the coaches, players, front office, they all take off the 4th of July weekend. And some will we'll move it along and maybe take another week. And then you start, everybody comes into the office a week before and they start prepping out how training camp, they already have it all laid out, but they start going through the minutia of it and how it's going to go and what, if this happens, if it rains, they're figuring all that out. And that's where Goody and Russ Ball are going to look at it and say, all right, we know these are some hot button issues that are right on the front burner. How are we going to handle this? And this is where that whole deadline spur action comes into play, because coaches hate distractions. These will be distractions. If both of these guys come into camp and aren't practicing because they need a new deal, I think you can handle it with one. But if 2/5 of your offensive line is not going to practice, that is a problem. And that sets back your entire operation. They're not going to let that happen. I could see one or the other not doing it. I would bet Russ Ball and Brian Gutekunst will figure it out and say, all right, we are going to get this thing. We're going to figure this out. And if there's one other one that's going to linger, okay, I can understand that. But that's how I see this thing going.
I did put a few wagers in at the Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Sunday night when we were there for the Terry Bradshaw show. I did not see on the NFL futures lines when Zach Tom and Elton Jenkins will get revised contracts, but when we were there for our show, when I was there on Sunday night, and you have plenty of chances before the start of the football season, you can get down and see what they have to offer on some Packers wagers and other things for the upcoming season.
Yeah, the show has a couple of fun ones, and we might dabble a little bit more as this thing keeps going, but we love our time down in Rockford, Illinois at the beautiful Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Features over 175,000 square feet of gaming and entertainment space, more than 1,300 slots, 50 live table games, a sports book, and a rock shop. And if you're hungry, guests can enjoy diverse dining options at the Hard Rock Cafe. You got Council Oak steak and seafood, bricked Italian kitchen, and my favorite, which at some point I am going to get to, and that is the UU Noodle Bar. The Hard Rock Live entertainment venue where Bradshaw and everybody else goes. 23,000 square feet premium concert event space. It also features more than 1,000 feet of LED screens that will enhance the experience for up to 2,000 guests. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, about an hour from the greater Madison area.
Those LED screens were fantastic for the Terry Bradshaw show on Sunday night. It was a really cool experience being in that venue for that show, and I'm sure all the shows
I heard
that come
nobody
through.
could do it like Terry.
No
That's
one.
what I heard.
He is one of one. There is no doubt about that. Trivia is not one of one because we're actually doing it twice today. We are not doing double trivia. We're going to play trivia once now and once in the 11 o'clock hour. Splitting up double Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia today here on Wilde and Tausch, presented by Vortex Golf. So for the first edition of Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, let's take caller 10 right now. Caller 10 at 844-770-3776. These questions are presented by my good buddy who I will see this weekend, Up North Joe, providing the questions for our first round of Wisconsin Geography Wednesday trivia presented by Vortex Golf. Caller 10, 844-770-3776. Caller 10 plays Wilde and Tausch Trivia, Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, Part 1. Next on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
People need people, whether in Junior Achievements BizTown, where students work together to run a city, or in the real world, where blood donors can help save lives. Join Junior Achievement of Wisconsin and Versity for a mobile blood drive on Tuesday, July 15th from 2 to 6:30 p.m. at JA's headquarters near Highway 100 and Good Hope Road. While you're there, tour Jim's JA BizTown, where students take on real-world roles like CEO, banker, and mayor, learning how communities thrive through teamwork and leadership. Sign up today at wisconsin.ja.org.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This 4th of July, celebrate your freedom with flavor. Crack open a Carbless, the ready-to-drink cocktail that's full of taste and only 100 calories, 0 carbs, and most importantly, 0 sugar. Whether you're lighting up the sky or kicking back at the barbecue, Carbless is the perfect sip for your summer celebrations. No mixtures, no fuss, just pure bliss. Carbless, all the freedom, none of the calories. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it, we can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. Avondale Roofing is knocking on your door. Leaking roof? Man, that's a shame. Call the real pros. We running this game. We patch it, thatch it, no need to stress. Our crew shows up and cleans up the mess. No drips, no drafts, no drama at all. Just tight new shingles, then a leak-proof hall. Hey.
It's nothing but Avondale, baby. They keep it dry when the weather gets crazy. Hey.
Visit AvondaleRoofing.com. That is AvondaleRoofing.com.
Summertime is the time for all the big events. Weddings, milestone birthdays, even corporate events. Elevate every event with Noble Catering, a premier craft caterer in southeastern Wisconsin, preferred by over 30 venues. Noble Catering is also the exclusive caterer of Villa Terrace, an East Side event treasure. And coming in 2026, Noble's new headquarters, a 400-person event venue in the heart of Bayview called Brixton's Turn. Book them for your event at noblecateringco.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jesse and Tausch today. Jason Wilde taking a couple of days off, heading into the 4th of July weekend, but you can catch him on Saturday afternoon, the State of the Packers at Summerfest, along with Gabe Neitzel and Alex Strofe. Noon to 3 Saturday afternoon, State of the Packers at Summerfest, featuring Jason Wilde, one of our favorite shows of the year. We hope you're able to tune in on Saturday afternoon. If you can't, make sure you subscribe. You'll find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app, the Green and Gold Fix podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts as well, because you're going to want to catch up on that over the 4th of July weekend and hear the insights from Jason, from Gabe, from Strophe, and the fun that they have on the Summerfest grounds. I don't think where is Summerfest will be one of our questions for Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Feels like it'd be a little too much of a layup, but we're going to find out as it is time now to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
And it's a rare day with Tausch in studio. He is going to ask at least one of our questions for Wisconsin Geography Wednesday.
Why is that rare?
Because normally you play along for Wisconsin Geography. You like to...
Yeah,
but
I get it.
It's too in your face. I've got the answers right in front of you, you'll actually ask a question or two here.
All right.
Let's welcome in our contestant again. This is part 1. We will play part 2 a little bit later in the show. Greg in Madison. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. How are you?
Thanks, guys. I'm doing great.
That is fantastic news, Greg. Wisconsin Geography Wednesday is our Wilde and Tausch trivia category. I will ask you question number 1. Tausch, you get ready for question 2 here. Question number 1, Greg. Sources different. Again, these are from my buddy up north, Joe. So any grievances or complaints about these questions can be filed, and I will put them away up north around the fire this weekend. Question 1. Sources differ as to whether the name of Adams County honors the second president of the United States, John Adams, or which of these other historical U.S. figures. Is it Samuel Adams, John Quincy Adams, or Devontae Adams?
John Quincy Adams.
That is correct. Would you have you ever heard of this debate whether Adams County is named after John Adams or his son John Quincy Adams?
I didn't even, to be honest with you, I wasn't even sure there was an Adams County. I just know Adams Friendship.
Yeah.
So, nailed it.
Could have been after Kay Adams.
That's true. She's doing a nice job recruiting the players to the G&G. All right. Which of the following communities is not at least partially located in Adams County? Is it Friendship, Wisconsin Dells, or Mauston?
It's a tough second question.
Mauston.
Nailed it.
Mauston in, do you know it?
I don't.
Juneau County. Juneau County for Mauston.
Blue buses, Mauston.
And
Blue buses.
I did help Joe out a little bit with this one because he originally it just said which of these is not in Adams County. Wisconsin Dells is actually in like 3 or 4 different counties. It's right on the border.
Right?
So it's in Adams. It's in is it Baraboo County? I think it's partial Dane, maybe. I'll have to check which ones it all is, but it's right on the border. It's like the 4 corners of the United States.
Okay.
That's where the Dells is located counties-wise.
Gotcha.
So had to help Joe out a little bit there. Greg, good news. You're 2 for 2. Got a chance to go a perfect 3 for 3 with question number 3, and I don't know how to say it. Have you heard of this? State Park.
I have heard of it.
I'm going to try to say it. Do you know how to say
I'll
it?
critique you after you say it.
Roche-a-Cry? Roche-a-Cree?
I think it's Cry.
ROCHE-A-CRI. Roche-a-Cree, Roche-a-Cree, Roche-a-Cry.
I've heard it triple
State
ways.
Park. I've never heard of it. Roche-a-Cry State Park, we'll go with. Located in Friendship in Adams County. Protects a 300-foot-high rock outcropping and Native American petroglyphs and pictographs. Thanks, Joe.
I think up north Joe's messing with you.
Thanks, Joe. The name Roche-a-Cry comes from French words meaning what? I don't know what I just read, and I wrote this earlier this morning. I just went verbatim what he wrote down. I don't know what this is. Roche-a-Cry State Park, located in Friendship, protects a 300-foot-high rock outcropping and Native American petroglyphs and pictographs. The name Roche-a-Cry comes from a French word meaning what? Screaming rocks, river that meanders through something red, or see you next time. Greg, are you there? Do you understand what I'm asking you?
I have no idea what you're asking me.
What does Roche-a-Cry mean for Roche-a-Cry State Park, which is in Friendship?
Screaming rock.
I don't know how we got here, but you got it right. Does this warrant a suspension for up north, Joe?
No, it's interesting. Obviously, it was hard, but it's the third question, and now we know that however we're going to say Roche-a-Cry means screaming rocks. So I think that's good.
Learned something new today.
That's what trivia is about. Jesse's learning something.
And thank you to Brett and Madison on the text line. Wisconsin Dells is in Columbia, Sauk, Adams, and Juneau counties. 4 counties.
A lot of counties.
For Wisconsin Dells. Greg, nice job. 3 for 3 of all 4 entries for our Vortex swag bag prize drawing, which will take place tomorrow if we don't forget before the conclusion of the show. Thanks for playing. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great 4th of July weekend, Greg.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great day.
Greg and Madison, contestant number 1 for Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Vortex Golf. We will have a second round coming up in the 11 o'clock hour.
And we have a second round with UW Credit Union. Right now, for every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin, doesn't matter what county you're in. For over 90 years, they're going to help you reach your financial goals. And people ask me, why did you join UW Credit Union, old T? Well, keeping my banking local? Yep. Member first service? Absolutely. And you got great perks like early payday. But honestly, I just love Bucky. Cute little rascal. And I love having that on my Bucky card, my UW Credit Union member card as well. If you love Wisconsin like I do, you just can't pay with anything else. Fandom makes you do crazy things, but man, this makes sense. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions to apply.
Homer was joined by ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst yesterday afternoon on the Homer Hour, our guy. We'll hear what Homer's big takeaways were from that conversation, his thoughts on the Dame and Miles Turner moves, and plenty more. That is straight ahead. Homer joins us next on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
If the Lakers are insistent that they're not moving off of Austin Reeves and that he's going to be the co-star for Luka Doncic long term, then I don't know that this Lakers team around LeBron and Luka can get good enough to challenge the other powers in the Western Conference. I just don't see a world in which that exists. The Lakers have too many team needs, right? They've got to address the center position in a major way, and they're going to have to figure out how they're going to get more on-ball defenders. Their perimeter defense right now is trash bags. I struggle to see a world in which the Lakers can get good enough around LeBron and Luka to contend for a championship. I don't see how that happens, and I don't know how they get remotely close if they wouldn't be willing to include Austin Reeves in some type of package to bring over another all-star caliber player.
Hey, Joe Fortenbaugh here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is up next July 17th through the 20th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
At Tony Wendorf and Associates First Weber Real Estate Services, we do more than close deals. We serve with gratitude and faith-filled purpose. We have sold over $300 million in real estate since 2020, and we're just getting started. What sets us apart? We care. Even if we're not your agent, we'll still help. That's the kind of stewardship the community deserves. If you're buying or selling across southeastern Wisconsin, let us earn your trust. I'm Tony Wendorf, and I want to create your red carpet experience. Contact us at wendorfteam.firstweber.com.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Fiserv Forum, October 5th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. Whatever you do, make sure you do it right. You making love or starting the schoolyard fight. Make sure you do it right.
You know what that music means.
Make sure you do it.
Joining us now, host of the Homer Hour, weekdays from 5 to 6 on ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. He was joined by ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst on yesterday's program. And we're a little jealous. We like Windy. I wish I had the skills to book him myself.
Has pulled that off because Windy's the man when it comes to this stuff.
Homer, good morning. How are you and how was Windy yesterday?
I'm sorry, that's not the... We've got breaking news. This is. I mean, I'm assuming you've talked about it, but maybe not.
Probably not.
The greatest halftime entertainer in the history of the game of basketball. Who would that be?
Red Panda.
Red Panda.
She's hurt.
What is? I saw she busted her wrist up last night. What is the verdict on it?
I mean, she fell off her unicycle. Injured her wrist. He was doing the WNBA game.
Yeah.
I don't have any update. But
well, then what's the breaking news about
Jordan,
it?
But she's on the injured list.
Have you talked about it? Have you mentioned it?
We have not brought up that Red Panda is on the injured list.
I talked about it on WTMJ this morning. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You did.
I did. Yeah.
Apparently,
and I agree with. By the way, Homer,
count?
I agree with you. There's nobody the longevity that she's had.
She's the best.
She's really
good.
Good.
It's like Michael Jordan has a wrist injury. It's a big deal. She's the Michael Jordan of basketball halftime show.
But, Homer, how many people come for the halftime show, though? If she can't be the Michael Jordan. I guess the Michael Jordan of halftime shows, I get away. Yeah,
okay, fine.
But you're not going to a game for the halftime show.
Any other halftime, whatever the number is, it's more than any other halftime act in the history of basketball.
Totally agree. The other one I like is when they do the trampoline slam dunks. Those are fun, too.
Who's the guy who says hands up, hands down? That guy's good.
Simon Says guy. Yeah.
Simon Says.
He was good.
Okay. If not for Red Panda, he would be...
no.
Yeah, Simon Says guy is really good.
I don't even... No.
He just had a clip the other day that I was watching.
I think Red Rover. I think Red Rover guy's better.
There's no Red Rover. You don't know Simon Says guy unless you've seen it.
I haven't. Anybody offended by any comparison to Red Panda?
Yeah, Red Panda's the GOAT.
Maybe.
Totally agree.
That is. I
Homer,
stretched it a little too much.
Homer, how many people could ride a 10-foot high unicycle without flipping the cups? How many people? What percentage of the American population could plop their keister up on a 10-foot high and just balance that for 3 minutes?
I have no idea.
I'll
go by whatever.
Well, what percent? I mean, you're Johnny percentage.
3%, less than 1%.
I was going to say less than 10%. You think?
Less than 1. Less than 1. Come on.
All right. So Homer, what did you glean from the great Brian Windhorst yesterday after the big news broke about Dalla Dame and about Miles Turner. What did you glean from him?
This is so outrageously crazy by NBA standards. Understand that this is the largest waiver ever. They just said, here's $113 million. I don't know what the second largest waiver ever, but it's the largest waiver ever, which, what does that mean? That means in any such situation in the past, teams have gone, what are you, crazy? We're not doing that. In addition to that, this is like 2 injuries to the Red Panda. This stretch, the way that you can take the contract and do it against the cap is crazy. The largest, now this is $113 million over 5 years because the rule allows you to double it and add 1. But anyway, the largest before 113 was $27 million, and it was 5 years ago. The point being that owners have said, well, like what, it's what, a third stretch? Forget it. We're not doing that. That's too much. The largest was 27, and the Bucks did 113. There is no comparison. There's no way to judge because nothing has ever been done anything close to this in terms of, 1, giving the money, and 2, the hit on the cap. That is the biggest, most important thing. He said it, and it hasn't been mentioned often enough. Whatever you think of the deal, understand that the Bucks did something, he said some would call it insane. He said it, he doesn't call it insane. He calls it, I can't remember, incredulous, I think is what he said. That must be the starting point for everyone. The degree that the Bucks went, I say, to help keep Giannis, but also, I think the other important part, I don't believe they ever would have done this except for the fact that they have a 1-year hit next year when 2 better teams are missing a player because of an Achilles injury. They're also missing one with Lillard. But that means the Bucks can say right now they're arguably the second or third best team in the East only for 1 year. That's why they did what they did with Lillard. If there had been no 1-year bonus, I don't believe they would have done what they did.
Well, I also, Homer, I think if Halliburton doesn't rip his Achilles up, Pacers don't let Turner go.
Right. Yes, this is so the Bucks also get kind of a Drew Holiday. They not only add a player, they hurt their opponent as well.
But it seems like in the Hoop Collective guys, Windy and Bontemps and that crew, they're not overly impressed. They think that this is, I think you said, incredulous. It's 5 years. They're going to be no draft picks. They haven't even started paying off the draft pick component to Dalla Dame, that trade. Now they're basically paying Miles Turner $50 million a year when you factor in the stretch $23 million, and they don't think he's worth it. They don't think it's even that big of an upgrade outside of the age of what they've gotten with Brook Lopez. And if that is the case, then this is crazy, right? If Miles Turner isn't markedly better than Brook Lopez, this move is crazy.
Well, the age factors in. You assume Lopez is going to get worse. Not the case Turner. But I said it's all about this next year. I mean, look at how good. Forget all of that. Look at how good the Bucks are now, next year, versus what they were before this deal. Just next year.
Homer, how much better do you think they are?
Well, I mean, they had no Lopez. Lopez was already gone. There's no way. No one thought that they were going to add a player of this ability because no one considered it possible. It's like you would have said, okay, the Bucks are going to add a player like Miles Turner because they're going to find an alien on the moon who's going to swim to Earth and get. It wasn't ever considered by anyone because no one had ever thought of giving away this kind of money, $113 million, and dealing with, as you said, the cap hit over the next 5 years.
Does it?
But for next year, it's worth it. What are they? 100? What are they? Okay, look at the team before Turner and after Turner. After Lopez is gone, you can't compare him to Lopez because he was gone.
Okay, we still need a point guard. There's still a lot of things, but what I will say is for everybody that is saying that you can look at other teams in the state, the Bucks constantly push the envelope, and they're not afraid to spend that money because you said it. Everybody is fighting to stay in that first apron, not the second, because of the punitive damage, luxury tax, etc. The Bucs have done that. Now they have a devastating injury to one of their Supermax players, and they say, blanket, we're gonna do this whole stretch deal and go again to it. And at best, most people have the Bucs 4th or 5th in the Eastern Conference, even with these moves. But the ownership group said, this is what we're doing because we want to keep Giannis and we want to stay relevant and we want to keep chasing championships. And for that, I do think that this group needs an attaboy and a hat tip.
But the only way they could say that is because of what Boston and Indiana are next year. They could never say that if those teams had not had the injuries. By the way, they're not pushing the envelope. It's like pushing, I don't know, because it's 10 times greater than that.
Okay. Okay. I thought you were going to undersell it. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, the degree of risk and what they're doing, and it also probably says to me that the guy from Cleveland, I've forgotten his name, is going to buy the team. There's no way that
Jimmy has
James J. Haslam.
There's no way that what's his name would have ever done this.
No, I think I agree.
Who's the other?
I think I agree with you. Lazary.
Yeah, Lazary.
Yeah, no, not Lazary.
Edens?
The other guy.
Well, Lazary left.
There's no way Edens would do this in 100 years.
Okay.
Edens is going to sell. Well, Eden is selling his portion of the team in the near future and getting all the money that Lazary got.
You're reporting this or you're guessing this?
I'm guessing this.
Oh.
There's no.
You said it really
I'm not
confidently.
guessing this. There is no way. There is no way. Do whatever you want. There's no way Eden's in control. Edens
do whatever
would
I
have
want.
ever done that.
You just said it. I didn't say it.
He is doing this because he's going to get big money for his ownership, just like Lazary did.
Okay.
He's on his way out. We're just deciding when, not if. No way he would have come close to doing this.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
What did Wendy or you or whoever else you had on your show
John
yesterday?
Anderson was
John
there,
Anderson. Is this now we're lock stock? Giannis is definitely here for this season now. Is that kind of the vibe? I mean, that's how I feel.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what this was about, more so than anything else.
It was about that, yes. And anybody who argued that, because I said last year you had to worry that it could be his last year.
Yeah, you were wrong on that. You were first, but you were wrong if he doesn't get traded.
I was 100% right because all this is being
You said
done.
he was going to be gone.
Hold on.
Okay.
All this is being, yes, I was wrong that he didn't go, but all this is being done because everything is different now than it was all the other years when all these other people, not
You mean when they traded for Dame
go.
and did literally the exact same thing to keep Giannis happy and try to extend his window? No?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
The situation was 100 times worse.
I would agree that this situation was more dire.
So, yes, I was wrong that he didn't leave, but I had when it takes the largest waiver and stretch ever, the degree to which, I didn't see the alien coming from Mars swimming and then coming and solving it. Yes,
hey, Homer.
I was wrong because I did not see that alien.
Homer, you don't
That's
need,
how bizarre.
Homer.
That's how amazing, incredible this is.
Homer,
this is like
you don't need to do all that. When you're doing this, and we're not all going to bat 1,000. I mean, I'm probably closest of the teammates here, but you're going to get some stuff wrong. It's okay to say, you know what, man, I was wrong. I wasn't wrong. It was an alien that swam down, and that's why we had to do it. No, Homer, you're right or you're wrong, and you're wrong.
I was wrong. No,
you're wrong.
I was wrong, yes. That
Okay.
part of it was wrong.
All right.
The fact that it was a different
No, all of it's
situation
wrong.
than
But he was
the Bucs
100%
dealt with.
right.
Homer, you're either right or wrong. This isn't half right.
You have different points that you make that can be correct, even though I was wrong that he didn't leave.
All right.
Tausch says Christian Watts will be back by Halloween of next year.
No,
100% right.
We'll see how we have to maneuver
for
that.
example, let me give you an example
All right, go
there.
ahead.
If he doesn't come back because an alien shows up and prevents him from coming back, he will be wrong.
All right.
But what it took for him to be wrong
Aliens.
was off the chart.
Yeah, aliens.
Well, you never know.
No,
Homer, can
you
we
think
now?
I'm exaggerating? I'm not exaggerating.
No, you
to
are
the degree
exaggerating.
That the Bucs went. No, that's how crazy this is.
No, it's not that crazy. This was
You
the stretch.
can't explain it. You said a push of the envelope. That's wrong. It's a push of
what? Push of what?
Well, when nobody has ever
No,
done
what
it
is it? It's
before,
not an
and
envelope.
you
What
do
is it?
I don't know what pushing bigger than pushing
The
the
entire
envelope
file
is.
cabinet.
Well, that would be better.
I think
File cabinet.
People need to view this as similar to
Manila
an
folder.
alien joining the Bucs team.
Okay.
That's how it is.
All right, so Homer, can we
Yes.
look back at this now and say that this Dame trade, this pains me to say this, was an utter disaster?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was a disaster because of injuries more than
But
anything.
that's life,
And the disaster was getting rid of the coach and getting rid of Holiday. They should have just regrouped and put the same people back, understanding it was about injuries. That was the mistake.
They panicked.
Yeah,
is what
they
you're saying.
lost to the Heat in the first round, and they panicked, and they should have just ran it back.
Still realizing that Middleton was breaking down more, they needed somebody that could score late. Giannis was not going to score late because they'd foul him. You saw the hot potato game. That's why I liked that they swung for the fences, but sometimes you strike out. And this was a big boy strikeout, and it's a strikeout that isn't just one game. This is going to last a while because we haven't even started. You're talking about the cap hit, but there's 3 first-round picks that are going to Portland, and I think, unfortunately, Milwaukee, if and when Giannis leaves, or if this thing doesn't turn, those are going to be very high picks down the road in 2030, whatever that might look like. This was a huge strikeout, swing and a miss. And for as much as I agreed with the decision at the time, sometimes in sports, things just don't work. This didn't work. And when you leverage your future like you did, I just hope it doesn't reverberate through for a long time. But unfortunately, a lot of times that is how it plays.
But it might. But again, I want to emphasize that I'm not in that camp. I'm in the camp that they had the issue that you addressed, but they needed to not get rid of the coach and not get rid of Holiday, and then do the best they can with the specific area you talked of. They made it number one. It should have been more important than the mistake of getting Lillard was getting rid of the coach and getting rid of Holiday. Those were 2 mistakes bigger than.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem. Drew Holiday's great, and he helped Boston win a championship, but he is a 3rd or 4th piece.
Whatever.
Well, no, he is.
Yeah, but if you have Giannis and Middleton, if you felt good about
Middleton was starting to wind. You needed to upgrade Middleton, but you couldn't get Dame with Middleton.
No. In some areas, he's way more important than 3rd or 4th piece. I believe on that Bucs team, he was the 2nd most important piece because of the skills he had that no one else could equal.
So, what are the expectations now for you with the East with the East being beaten down, as you put it, and the Bucs? What did you say? Can you let me ask my question?
No, he said top 4.
You asked your question.
All
what
right.
are your expectations?
All right, no.
You don't have to ask a Wilde question. You can ask a Tausch
That's fair.
question.
All right, so
what are your expectations?
So top 4.
Eastern Conference top 4.
Does that mean 4 or does that mean 2?
Hold on. Top 4, and I think it's okay if you demand Eastern Conference final.
Okay.
Because they do. The difference between those two will be determined by what they do from now on. If they do nothing, then it's top 4 in the East. But I think they'll do something to deal with the guard situation. They have to.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
You called it. Yeah.
They are going to have to.
They got room now because of the alien decision by the Bucs owners.
And it cost you being right on something that you were way out in front of.
I said this, and you can check my tweets. I'm happy to be right because Giannis is back, and the mistake I made was not to believe somehow Giannis will stay because that's Giannis.
So,
and it
Homer,
increases the great.
So let me ask you this then. Do you think you would have been right had they not done this alien move and signed Turner? If Turner doesn't come, you believe Giannis would have asked out?
I'm not going to go there now because that's the mistake I made. I thought
you didn't make a mistake. I thought you were right.
Well, I was wrong that he would leave. Wrong that he would leave. I just didn't think it would take an alien to keep him. But I'm not going to go against Giannis again. I don't care what it looks like. I'll believe he's gone when he's gone. He has earned that level of respect as a great human being.
Smart.
And with that,
I don't want to mess up again.
We'll leave you with that, Homer. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing what you say on the Homer Hour later today at 5 o'clock.
Bye.
Steve the Homer True, weekdays at 5, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, the Homer Hour. Catch him every day and on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Gruber Law Offices. If Jason was here, he'd tell you about David Gruber and the team, and he hopes you never have to make the call, but if you do...
Why don't you do a Jason Wilde impression? You always, when I'm gone, it's like, Mark Dowser here.
Jason doesn't have a... He's not as iconic as you.
You're telling me, Jason, all right, he pauses and he does, I haven't needed to use it, but if I did, you're not going to do any of that. You're just going to read it.
I'll work on it for tomorrow.
Okay, do it in Tom Izzo's voice then.
No. It's really rich.
Getting the pirate voice.
Getting impression advice from you is really something. David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices, we hope you never have to make the call, but if you do, you can call David Gruber and the team at Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 30 years and a proud partner of Wilde and Tausch. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. We still have one more segment to go here in the 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. We'll get to that coming up next.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Marquette Athletics, PCI Construction, Discount Liquor, Loyal Family Renovations, The Jewelry Center, and Tony Wendorf and Associates. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road or visit PellaWI.com today.
Baseball is back. Brian Bulaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, zero bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This weekend is what summer's all about, and Macy's July 4th sale is going on now with deals on everything you need to celebrate. Hosting? Turn your backyard into a party destination with 40 to 50% off outdoor entertaining. Beachbound? Turn heads in this season's hottest swimsuits, sundresses, and more. Get away with the kids? Superpower their summer with 25 to 60% off toys from Nerf. Plus, don't miss Macy's 4th of July fireworks live on NBC and Peacock. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now, there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co., LLC. Used with permission.
Find what you love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American family insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues. Jesse and Tausch today with Jason Wilde off, heading into the 4th of July weekend. Special thanks to Homer, Steve the Homer True of the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin, for joining us last segment, talking about his insights after catching up with Brian Windhorst of ESPN on the Damian Lillard and Miles Turner moves, plus everything else the Bucks have been up to in the last 48 hours. Been a crazy whirlwind.
Do we feel like it was a little bit of a sugar high, and now listening to more educated basketball folks than I am? It's not a large population, but there is a population.
There's a few of them out there.
But when I was watching Get Up and this led their show today, it made me pause and think of the big price that we're paying. And that, you put stuff on layaway, or you put stuff with, all of our deals, whether it's Kohler or, Pella, you get all this free interest, right? That's not the NBA. There's no zero interest. There's a big bill to pay that we haven't even started looking at, and we have not gotten out of the first round in 3 years. And now we doubled down, and I love the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks front office is aggressive. Keeping Giannis is critical. But when I heard the Windies and the Bontemps, these folks that cover this stuff religiously, and nobody is impressed. It's kind of a desperate blah. I'm starting to kind of come and be like, oh, maybe all that excitement yesterday of Miles Turner and the stretch five and being able to shoot, and then you find out he only shoots 36%. He shot 36% from three. I thought he was over 40. Okay. I like the move. I think it's good. But is it going to elevate this team to an opportunity? It's definitely better than where we were. But is it going to be even close to the price? And I think, looking back, how bad that decision was, even though I agree with it and I still understand why they did it, the Dollar Dame decision and the price that we paid is going to be something that is going to be hanging around Milwaukee Bucks fans and the organization's neck like an albatross on top of an albatross. And whether or not everybody's necks are going to be strong enough to stay afloat, we're going to find out. But let me tell you something. It's going to get heavier and heavier. Right now, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, can move around a little bit. But you lose some games, and all of a sudden it's 2028. That thing's going to be an 800-pound anchor. And then at 29, it's going to be a ship. And I don't think guys' necks are going to be strong enough to hold up a ship. And then by 2030, my guess is we're going to be taking on a lot of water.
Well, I tell you what, we'll address some of those concerns to kick off the 11 o'clock hour coming up, because I have a couple of thoughts I want to share on that, too. We do know no matter what the prices are, Quick Trip is super affordable, and they have so many great deals all the time.
It is the best, and actually it lets you earn money. Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Every sip gets you closer to the summit. From now till August 17th, play every day for free right in the Quick Rewards app. You can score bonus plays with every eligible item that you grab, like an ice cold Pepsi, a bold Mountain Dew. You get that hydrating Gatorade or Propel. Earn 2 bonus plays with hot food. The cash prize climbs by $5,000, stacking higher and higher until one player will reach that summit of $250K. So get climbing now in your Quick Rewards app. And deals, it's July and deals are coming. Quickery white bread, 99 cents a loaf. Kitchen Cravings, 73% lean ground beef, $2.99 a pound. Simply potatoes, shredded hash browns, $1.99 for a 20-ounce bag. Life is busy. Quick Trip is here to help. Get on down. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer, like rewards on every purchase, and you can order ahead. Quick Trip. You know, it's great this weekend. You got all these cookouts and everything else. And, somebody's got to get buns. Oh, you got to grab ketchup. Oh, pickles. Boom, boom, boom. Quick Trip will have you covered. We'll see you next time.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, where we'll continue to dissect what happened with the free agency flurry for the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday, and whether we like it or if it's going to be a hindrance for the franchise for the next several years. We'll address that in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain not getting any better? Maybe you're stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now talking about surgery. Well, before you head down that road, you need to check out my friends at QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about how QC Kinetics is revolutionizing medicine with their regenerative and cellular treatments. Using their advanced cellular therapy, QC Kinetics is helping your body heal itself. And don't just take my word for it. The results from their patients is off the charts. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. In fact, most people that come in for their free consultation ask if they can just start right away. It doesn't cost a thing for that second opinion with QC Kinetics. You owe it to yourself to live a pain-free life, and you owe it to yourself to check out QC Kinetics. The results could be life-changing. Call QC Kinetics today at 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on. I'm not giving up, no, not me.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. The ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and on YouTube. No Jason Wilde today. No Jason Wilde tomorrow as well. Jesse and Tausch holding it down with Riley out. It is our cousin sub of the day producing today's show. We do have a second round of Wilde and Tausch trivia on a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday coming up next. So if you're interested in playing or want to play along at home, don't go anywhere. That's coming up next. But I want to continue the conversation about Giannis and the Bucks and the moves that the Bucks made in free agency yesterday. So Tausch, you have some reservations and some hesitations now 24 hours removed.
I think it's if you have kids, you give them a bunch of sugar and they're all jacked up and fired up and running around and life is great, and then the sugar high crashes. I'm feeling a little bit of that.
You're feeling the sugar high crash today.
I guess I was excited because it started out, we signed the best free agent big guy available. Brook Lopez leaves. We all kind of thought he's getting a little long in the tooth. We need rim protection and someone that could, a stretch five that you can play with Giannis, the perfect fit. Awesome. And then you start looking at the ramifications of it. Milwaukee basically has brought back a lot of the same guys from last year's back end of their team. You still have Kuz. There's still, whether or not we can chase down a championship, I'd say it's unlikely at this point, but it's better than what it was. But then when you start hearing of all of the price that you paid and what you got from Dalla Dame and what you're going to still have to pay him, that's going to hurt your cap. If it was just a 113 and that was it, I like it more. But now it's another 20-some-odd million that you're not going to be able to get other players. And you don't have draft picks. And are you that much closer to a championship? You're better than you were, but does that mean you're good enough to do it? And I think Homer's point with Boston and Indy both missing their star guys for an extended period of time, Dame is going to be a high-priority free agent for somebody else. Is he going to go to the Heat or the Celtics and end up coming back to bite you? Like, there's just so much other stuff that I hadn't really thought through completely. And today, after listening to some of these experts get into it, it's a big year. It's a big year for Milwaukee. And if things don't go well, it's going to be one ugly, ugly hangover.
Maybe I'm still on the sugar high, but I am excited about what they did yesterday.
I was excited yesterday. I'm less excited today.
I'm excited still because this show, they don't make the Miles Turner move if they don't know that they're going to be running this thing back with Giannis. That's my perception of this thing. You don't make this move. You don't make that financial commitment
for this year.
For this particular year, knowing that you think you can still win a championship when having the best player on the floor in the Eastern Conference, and you get a chance to win a best-of-7 series. The Bucks legitimately believe that they are in position to do that with Giannis on the floor healthy and with the addition of Miles Turner and the other pieces that they have. They all the moves they made, Bobby Portis, Gary, all the moves, to me indicate that they believe that they can still be the best team in the Eastern Conference next year. With the landscape being what it is, for Tatum being out with the Celtics, for Halliburton being out with the Pacers, for the Knicks not knowing who their head coach is going to be yet. Like, all these things play a factor. If the Magic and the Hawks are the other teams that have stock up in the offseason, I feel good that the Bucks are now in that same conversation with those other teams about being contenders in the East next year. I think the Bucks realize that, and that's why they made the decisions that they did to appease Giannis, to bring him back, to make sure that they're going to still have a chance to compete in the East next year. And then you figure it out after that, because the NBA changes so frequently that you don't know what it's going to look like 2 years from now, 3 years from now. There's all these crazy changes that can happen everywhere. You can only focus on when you have the best player in the world that we believe Giannis is. When he is on the team, you do everything you can to win a championship every time. And if it means a couple of years down the road, it's going to be a rebuild and there's going to be some difficult situations, that's okay if it gives you a chance to be in the mix to win another title this year.
Yeah, but in the mix is just different. Like, in the mix, what does that mean?
But there is no clear-cut team that's above the rest in
Cavaliers
the East going into
are.
the... We don't even mention them when we talk about all these other... Yeah, you do.
New York is.
But everyone else is talking Knicks and Celtics and Pacers
Celtics,
and
nobody's talking.
Hawks and Magic.
They've gutted a big chunk of their team, and I still think Celtics-Bucks right now, it's probably a coin toss.
But the Cavs bowed out in an ugly way in the second round of the playoffs this year.
The Bucks have been out of the first round the last 3 years.
If the Bucks played the Cavs in the playoffs, would Giannis be the best player on the floor?
I went to a Bucks-Cavs game at Fiserv on a Sunday night, and the Cavs just beat us into the dirt.
Understood. But if the Bucks played the Cavs in the playoffs, is Giannis the
we were
best?
Fully healthy. Dame was playing.
Is Giannis the best player on the floor? Then that gives me all the hope I need as a Bucks fan. If we have the best player on the floor, the NBA is not football. It doesn't matter if you have the best quarterback and everyone else around you sucks. If Giannis is on the floor, the Bucks have a chance to beat any team. I believe that. I've believed that for 8 years.
Well, you've been wrong 7.
But I was right 1.
It's fair.
And we don't know a couple of them because he was hurt.
I guess
we don't know where they would have gone.
I guess I'm just realistically looking at it and saying, yeah, the Bucks are better. How long is this going to keep Giannis here? Because now it is a year-to-year deal. And if this thing implodes, I guess you could trade Giannis and get a bunch of picks. But there's probably ways that you could do that still. That would be kind of where you're at. But I don't feel as good. I just don't. I felt really good yesterday. I'm not down in the dumps. I think it was the right move. But I just, now looking back, and everything is easier from the cheap seats, Charlie. And the cheap seats tell you that Dame trade was god-awful. And it is leaving residue within this organization for a long time. And I don't know if you can overcome what they're going to have to overcome It'll be this year. Because Giannis ain't...
KD and Kyrie Irving.
No, we didn't even sniff. The guy was a shoelace short of going to an Eastern Conference Finals. We weren't nowhere close to that.
We were in the playoffs with guys hurt, and the collection of
we
the
never
group
made
never
it to
was...
the Eastern Conference Finals.
No.
They're a shoelace away from there. How do you even make that comp? And Kyrie Irving was out of the game or could barely play, or James Harden.
That's what I'm saying. Giannis, Dame, and Chris were never healthy at the same time together in the playoffs.
What does that have to do with this year? Neither of those guys are on the team
We can
anymore.
look back now that it's over and say it was an abject failure bringing Dame in for 2 years, but it was the right thing we felt at the time to do then, and we'll never know because
I
it
literally
never
have
came
said
to
that
fruition.
exact same thing, but sports is about results. The process was okay. The results sucked. There's no way of getting around it. And the problem is you haven't even felt any of the pain of what you had to give up yet. Because you're giving up. Nobody would sit here and tell you the Drew Holiday trade was a bust. It worked because you won. And a championship in 50 years, you take it and you run with it. This, pretty tough to spin this in a positive way.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia Round 2 is coming up next, presented by Vortex Golf. Wilde and Tausch Trivia Round 2, Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, 844-770-3776. Caller number 12 for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Caller 12 at 844-770-3776. Riley Auk standing by to take your trivia contestant calls, while Tausch tells us once again about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And for windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. The Pella Experience Center will let you see it, feel it, open it, close it, compare dozens of windows and door options, and you can do it all side by side with Pella's 7 different Pella lines. Stop by soon, though, because if you order by July 31st, you get 0 interest for up to 5 years. That's how long we're going to be paying off Dollar Team's contract.
Sure is.
And you'll be paying 0 interest with Pella. Visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield or schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions do apply.
12 844-770-3776. Presented by Vortex Golf. Wilde and Tausch Trivia is next.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
People need people, whether in Junior Achievements BizTown, where students work together to run a city, or in the real world, where blood donors can help save lives. Join Junior Achievement of Wisconsin and Versity for a mobile blood drive on Tuesday, July 15th from 2 to 6:30 p.m. at JA's headquarters near Highway 100 and Good Hope Road. While you're there, tour Jim's JA BizTown, where students take on real-world roles like CEO, banker, and mayor, learning how communities thrive through teamwork and leadership. Sign up today at wisconsin.ja.org.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 5.5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Crystal Farm shredded or chunk cheese, 2 for $5. 9 to 16 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or crunch chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 10 to 10.8 ounce selected varieties Bird's Eye frozen vegetables, 4 for $5. 18 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates or bowls, 2 for $5.
Attention shoppers.
Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need. While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner. There's something goofy going on with the PA. Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game. See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman here. It's the Tsunami Express Car Wash 4th of July Sales Spectacular. Get 50% off any car wash now through July 6th. That's a long-lasting clean starting at just $5. And with free vacuums, mat cleaners, and detailing tools, we make it easy to reset your ride inside and out. No stress, no mess. Just a fresh, satisfying clean that fits right into your summer plans. Again, that's 50% off any car wash. Only through July 6th at Tsunami Express. Find your nearest location at tsunamiexpress.com.
College students, are you looking to make your campus living more comfortable, functional, and fashionable this year? Let IKEA help. From innovative storage solutions and furniture to maximize your space, to fashionable bedding and accessories to make it uniquely yours, IKEA is helping make college living truly inspired by you. And now, qualified college students can save even more with 15% off their IKEA purchase when they sign up for IKEA Family for free. Visit IKEA Oak Creek, IKEA Schaumburg, or check out the Ready for College section on IKEA.com/US to learn more.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wilde and Tausch back with you. Jesse and Tausch. Jason has the remaining shows this week off. He will be at Summerfest on Saturday afternoon, State of the Packers show. We're going to play trivia in just a moment here, presented by Vortex Golf. Just a quick housekeeping note. Coming up next, ESPN Madison going to switch over to the Milwaukee Brewers game 1 of the doubleheader today against the New York Mets. So Brewers-Mets coming up next on ESPN Madison. Because of the logistics, the video stream will conclude after this segment today. So the video stream will, sorry for the dwellers on YouTube and everyone watching on social media, YouTube and video stream will conclude after this segment. You can still find us on the ESPN Wisconsin app and, of course, on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. And with that, it is time for round 2 of Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Vortex Golf.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Vortex Golf. Rangefinders you can bet on.
We welcome in our contestant, Chris in Cedarburg, for round 2 of Wilde and Tausch Trivia today. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. This is my first time having a Jesse co-hosted trivia segment.
Oh, isn't that lucky for you, Chris? Hopefully it's your lucky day because of it. We'll see how well you fare. Here is question number 1. I wrote these, by the way. Up North Joe got suspended for round 2, so I wrote these once now. Which lakefront city is home to the Lakeshore Chinooks Northwoods League baseball team, where Alex Stroh threw a terrible first pitch last week? Is it Mequon, Mequonago, or Manitowoc?
Mequon.
That is Mequon. That is correct. I was trying to go with like a baseball pun, and I didn't have a better one than Manitowoc. I'd work on that. Thanks, Kay.
Well, if a contestant from Cedarburg gets Mequon wrong, I should probably just quit.
Call it a day.
That is true. Yep. Question 2, Chris. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest north? Farthest north, Crandon, Crivets, or Kashina?
Oh, I should know this from the days when my kids played hockey. Crandon, Crivets, Kashina. I want to go with Crivets.
Crivets is pretty far north. But Crandon is further. Crandon, your correct answer there, Chris.
No, I took a wrong turn going up to Eagle River one year and missed and went into Crandon. Yeah, so
that'll happen.
I probably should have known that. Oh well.
Question 3, Chris. Featured in an article from Travel Wisconsin highlighting 8 Wisconsin 4th of July festivals you should find. The Riverfront Rendezvous at Fifner Pioneer Park takes place in which of these Wisconsin cities? Is that in La Crosse, Stevens Point, or Lodi? The Riverfront Rendezvous at Fifner Pioneer Park.
La Crosse.
Very confident.
Very wrong. Sorry, Chris. Stevens Point.
Oh,
The
man.
correct answer there. So only one right, but you do get 2 of the possible 4 entries for our Vortex swag bag drawing tomorrow. Chris, we're up against it, so I got to bid you farewell. Thanks for playing, man. Happy 4th of July weekend.
All right. Bye, guys. Happy 4th.
Tausch? Coors
You know
Light.
what makes a happy 4th? A little Coors Light, whether you're tailgating, you're out on a lake, watching fireworks. Coors Light is beautiful with that. It's brewed with a 3-step cold process. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, and it is cold packaged. Make sure those mountains are blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company at Golden, Colorado.
On ESPN Madison, Brewers Mets coming your way next. We continue with Whoa Riley on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Beaver Dam. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.